tutors, mentors, and the city with your host.com.
The City Tutors presents
Tutors, mentors, and the city
with your host.com.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Tutors, Mentors, and the City. And thank you for joining us for this special Our City episode, where we interview people who directly are on the front lines of the City Tutors, whether they are tutors, tutees, mentors, or mentees. So that being said, please join me in welcoming our guest to this episode, Miss Ashley Park. Give it up for Ashley. Hey! Ashley, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Kevin?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we want to get some insight from you. We want to know your direct experiences with the City Tutors, all right? So I'm going to ask some questions that are that I may know the answer to already, but I want our viewers to hear them from you, okay?
Yeah.
So first, what was your direct interaction with City Tutors?
Yeah. Well, I think recently I've had the opportunity to have another type of interaction with City Tutors, but in the beginning, it was really like a program where I was able to find mentors in any kind of desired industry that I wanted to learn more about. So it was really like a place of guidance, a place of being able to speak with professionals to learn about the work that they do, how to enter the industry, etc. And it really was helpful because, as students, we don't have a lot of resources, especially if you go to a CUNY or a SUNY. It's known to not be as super resource, and especially the students, they don't come from super resource backgrounds. So I think it really provided that place where I felt like I had such an abundance of resources in terms of mentorship, but there was also different kind of events, like networking events or even just panelists coming to speak. There's also sometimes social events as well. So I remember I was able to go on like a hike with Gary and the rest of the mentors and some other students. And then recently I was able to intern for a little bit for the past 2 weeks on the communications team with City Tutors. And that just recently ended at the end of June. So I've had the pleasure of learning a little bit of behind the scenes operations for City Tutors. So those are a few different interactions I've had.
Okay, great. So let our viewers know what your status was at the time you found City Tutors. You're a student, what school, what year, what's your major, all that stuff.
Sure. I think at the time I found City Tutors, I was maybe like a rising senior. I went to Baruch College. I was a marketing major. And it was really perfect that I found City Tutors because at that time I decided I wanted to switch my career interest. So I didn't want to do marketing anymore. I wanted to switch into something that was very different. Like I wanted to go into finance. Of course, like finance is a very niche industry. It's very competitive in that sense. And also I think at that time, I believe I was a rising senior. At that time, I had just done, well, the internship lasted for about a year, but I just interned at CME Group, which is a derivatives trading exchange in the marketing team. And that's how it exposed me to the industry of finance and what they do a little bit. And that's why I decided to change. And so I've had the pleasure of being able to meet with different mentors who work at like Goldman Sachs, et cetera. And they also attend some like finance related events as well through City Tutors.
Okay, so let's talk about that moment. Let's talk about that magic moment where, when young people are making that transition from high school to college, and so many tremendous questions have to be answered. What's your major? In other words, what do you intend to do for the rest of your adult life? That's the question. So you were a rising senior at the time, so you had answered the question. How did you handle the moment where you realized I don't want to do this. I don't, this isn't what I want to, I made a mistake. What was it? Was it, I made a mistake? I don't like it as much as I thought I would. What were you going through?
Yeah, so I was very certain in my decision because I had been a very like actively curious person. So the reason I came to that conclusion was because I had spoken with a lot of different industry people in marketing. I would always, seek out like my career center workshops at my school, or even not just through school, but just find like any kind of networking event that I could find. I would literally just like Google and try to find it. And that's how it be able to go to these like events where, these panelists from like Vogue magazine or some like huge brand agency would come out and they would speak about the work that they do specifically in marketing. I was interested in like influencer, working with entertainment agencies, celebrities, things like that. And the more and more I went to those events and the more I got involved, the more work I was like trying to do in there. That's when I really realized through hearing these people's experiences that this is not what I wanted to do. And of course, by the time that I was a senior, like, it's not like I can change my major. It's too late already. And I also just graduated like in May. So this was literally like this year, like this senior year for me, where I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. But I think at the same time, because I really value like those networking coffee chats with people who were very successful in their fields, marketing or not marketing. I think a common thing that I heard people say was, you really want to find something that you enjoy doing and where you're at a workplace where you're challenged and you want to do the work. Whereas if you're just here because so that you can be in like a safety net of earning an income, like you're not going to go far because you don't want to be here. You're not going to have the passion to learn and find value in your work. And so I think that's also what I wanted to implement in my career path. Like I didn't want to, and actually at the beginning of my senior year, I was like applying to places and things. I actually did get an offer at this bank, and it was for a marketing position actually. And the pay was better than like the internship that I was doing at the time. And it seemed like a good safety net because inflation, market, layoffs, all those things, there was just so much going on. And I was like, I could take this offer. But I just knew that I wasn't going to be happy like if I took this on. And also just personally, I felt like I would always live with this regret in myself that I would take this opportunity that might determine the rest of my the rest of the trajectory of how my career would turn out, just because I was fearful of what would happen when I didn't try other things yet. Like when I didn't see the full outcome yet. This was just the beginning of my year and I got this offer. It's great, but I still have all this time to try to find something new. And so I think that's why I just knew personally that I would be kind of like disappointed in myself if I had taken this on. And so that's why I felt very confident that I would definitely find something as long as I put in the effort, as long as I spoke with the right people. So I just really made sure that I held myself accountable for the rest of the year. And I think it paid off really well.
Yes. Okay. So tell us about how you first came across City Tutors.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question that I can tie into like another tip for students. So I found City Tutors through my school newsletter. It actually surprises me how many students don't read their school letters, because your school letters and the emails you get has so many resources, especially, and I can say this for like uni students, there's so many resources in the newsletters, like whether it's internship or a workshop, free program or networking, whatever it is, everything is there, like all the secret gems, they're all hidden there. So City Tutors is one of those headlines that I read through one of my school newsletters. It said, you are able to have an access to a range of all these different mentors. And that's actually exactly what I was looking for. I always wanted to have mentors who I can ask questions about and ask for feedback from. And so that's how I found City Tutors, and I signed up immediately.
Okay, what was your first experiences like when you signed up?
Yeah, so my first experience, it's very simple. I really liked how everything was pretty remote, and you didn't need to go to a counselor, etc. When you sign up with City Tutors, it's really like you fill out a form, with just of your interests. And then also you have the ability to, list out specific industry or a specific like title of the mentor that you're looking for. Like if you wanted to speak with like maybe, I don't know, like a software engineer at a fintech company, or you're interested in healthcare, or maybe you want to speak to a VP, etc. So you're filling out this like info template form basically for the people to match you with the mentor of, your desired mentor figure. And then they'll send you like a list of few potential. They send you like a variety of different mentors so that you're not just given one, but you're able to choose. And they also provide some info with each mentor, like where they worked at before, etc. And you can look them up on LinkedIn as well. So it's really great. And when I first received my list, I was like, oh my God, like I want to have all of them as my mentors. I was feeling a little greedy. But through that experience, that's how I was able to get paired with my first mentor. And eventually I was able to ask to, and you also have the option to, be able to work with different mentors once you're done with your mentor, like if you want to experience a different industry, etc. So it's all self-paced, and I think that's what's really great about it, the flexibility. Like nobody in City Tutors is saying like you guys have to meet twice a week and then fill out a form. Like no, you guys meet whenever you're both available. So my first experience was great, and I met really incredible mentors through the program.
Yeah, what surprises me, there are a lot of mentorship programs out there in the not-for-profit sector. But what surprises me is the caliber of mentors that City Tutors has. Like you can be a junior in college and you're talking to a retired CEO, or you're being mentored by, a high level corporate VP or something like that, as opposed to, the peer to peer, or someone that's a couple of years older than you. It's like there's no limit to the type of people that you can be matched with in City Tutors. And I'm with the team, and I'm always amazed by it.
Yeah, and like the companies that they come from are all like these top, whether it's like Paramount or Goldman Sachs, like Bloomberg, it's like really top tier companies like Microsoft. And the fact that there are these abundance of people and mentors who are willing to like commit that time and energy to do this for like students is like, it's so incredible to me.
All right, now here's a trick question. During your experience, did you have any weird moments? Did you have any moments where you were like, I don't know if this is right for me? I want your honest answer.
Yeah, for sure. No, like I'm a very straightforward person. Like I'm not gonna fluff things out, but I really didn't. All of my mentors have been really great, and they were there when I needed help. And no, it was very like simple, self-explanatory. You need help, you want to go to an event, you go. That's it. And then you ask to check in, or the mentors check in with me. Let's like catch up and see how you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, great. We talk, and then we check in again, and then. Yeah, I've never had like what was that type of experience with City Tutors?
Every time I ask that question, I keep my fingers crossed. I'm like, please. Please.
Well, with me, yeah, the crosses worked.
But if you did have a weirdo moment, we would want to know. We would want to know, and we want to be able to address it.
I'm sure, yeah. But I didn't. Personally, I didn't.
Yeah. That's the comedian in me, right? They tell lawyers, don't ask a question that you don't already know the answer to when you put a witness on the stand, right? But that's a legal parameter. I'm a comedian. We just ask questions. I'm looking for a laugh. So how would you sum up your entire experience, your entire relationship with the City Tutors, City Mentors program? How would you sum it up?
Oh my gosh. Well, I do want to say that I think it has been a resource that I have been just so grateful for, that something like this is actually out here. And actually, I myself really try to share about City Tutors with like my fellow peers and just people who, felt like they needed help or they, were kind of lost in their field of interest. And I always tell them like, do you know about City Tutors? Because it's like, you can get paired with any mentor. It's really exactly what you're looking for. And it surprises me that like a lot of students don't know about it. So, and I know that, a lot of students, like I have paired a few of my friends with, through the program, and I know they find it like super beneficial because it is exactly what a lot of students are looking for and what they do need. I do know that for me, City Tutors has been so, crucial to getting me this far in my senior year. It was like so chaotic trying to change my major, tough market, etc. But I think City Tutors was very instrumental in being able to help me get to the place I wanted to be. I got really great job offers and things like that. And I know that if it wasn't for the mentors that I got, and that's also to say, like, I really seeked out a lot of different resources to help me get where, to help me learn. But I think City Tutors is definitely one of which I really admire and appreciate because of the flexibility, the network, the abundance of resources. I think those were all things that students can really, really appreciate and use to their advantage. And it's like, it's at a no cost. So I think it's something that like all students really need to know about because they really need it. And so I'm just really forever grateful. And actually I was like thinking about when I got some of my job offers, I was like thinking about emailing Gary. I was going to do it, but like it just like slipped my mind. But I was really gonna like email him, like, thank you so much for for discovering City Tutors and continuously working on this with your team, because like it's just so incredible the things that you guys are doing to the future of students here. And I know they're gonna go far because of resources that City Tutors provide. So it has been amazing for me. And I'm forever going to be remembering City Tutors.
Well, absolutely. So thank you. Very well stated. And I really appreciate it. You have a bright future. Congratulations on your recent graduation. And thank you for all of your support and participation in the City Tutors program. We love how the volunteers, the mentors and the tutors, how they donate their time to help the students. But we also applaud you, students, for continuing to invest in yourself. There's no better investment that you can make than investing in yourself, right? So I applaud you. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. And thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you so much for having me, Kevin. And thank you, City Tutors. So keep going. And I'm always going to be having wonderful things to say about it. So yeah, thank you so much for having me.